You know how crazy it is that, like, last week we didn't get Megalovania at all, and then here it is, the second song in our stream. That was wild. Anyway, I did a little bit of preparation for our drawing today. I took some of this one. And we're gonna turn this into not that. This. So I just copy pasted a couple of layers. So we're gonna be editing that. Excuse me. I honestly don't know why I copy pasted this layer, but I'm sure we'll find a use for it. Speaking of, I forgot to calibrate my drawing tablet. Oopsie. Calibrated, right? Yes. Ah. There we go. There's always something I forget to do before switching to regular screen. And it's usually my tablet calibration. Sorry about all the noise. Alright. We've got some erasing to do. Modifications to make. Actually, hold on. I think... we could do first is just start with doing that. The bug! How are we going to make the bug buggy? I just realized my pen isn't the right color. Actually, I don't need to do that. And I had to figure out what to do with the ears. And I had an idea after last week about giving bug form 4 arms. Having 2 additional arms here. I think it'd be worth trying out. I felt like cheating a little bit and actually just copy-pasting my pre-existing ref and building off of that. Just for the sake of making things a little bit easier. I don't know if I want to do a multi-stream drawing again, and I just want to make something simple this time. So having something pre-existing and just reusing it and figuring how to just utilize it in a different way. I listen to my voice and I don't know why. Also a little tired today. I don't know, yesterday was a bit of a rough day. I have a little story to share. Yesterday morning at like 6:30 a.m. butt crack of dawn, sun was rising. I got the shit scared out of me. And a little bit of context for why. I live on the border. I live on the US-Mexico border. So I'm like 15 minutes away from Mexico, and sometimes, apparently, sometimes my phone switches between the US and Mexico. And that includes emergency alerts, like national alerts. Those also switch, apparently. And my phone had switched to the Mexican national alerts, and oh boy, my national alerts are turned off for the US ones, but they apparently, it's totally, you have to manually turn them off for any other nation, but my Mexican ones were not turned off. And so at 6:30 a.m. when I was deep in sleep dreaming, the most horrifying sound on the planet happened. It woke me up. Like, I was still kind of asleep when it started going off, so like it was one of those things where it's like this one trigger and a dream turns into a hellscape. And then I woke up and I like instinctively covered my head because I was so freaked out. Like, what the fuck is that? And then for context, like the US alert, it was an Amber Alert, but in Mexico it's obviously in Spanish, so it's an Alerta Amber, and it sounds different. I know every country has their own different alert sound, and in the US it's the it's like no big deal. But apparently Mexico has like one of the most terrifying ones I've ever heard. And it was like wee wah wee wah wee wah. It was like super super loud, and my ringer's off always, and even then, my my ringer volume is still set at like minimum because alarms are still a thing and stuff. But yeah, that happened, and I was woken up. I genuinely thought I was dying because whenever you're asleep, you don't really have as much room for like critical thinking. You don't have room for like the proper like cognitive functions because you're sleeping. And so I was awoken by that, and I genuinely thought I was going to die. It was awful. I was terrified. So I got up, snatched my phone, snatched my blanket, rudely awoke Saturn when I did that because he was laying on it. I was like, give me the blanket! And I ran downstairs and I was in tears. I was actually crying when that happened. It was so scary. And thankfully my dad was awake and I explained what happened. And I got a little hug, and I was all upset and crying, but like I was regaining my sense of common sense, and I felt better after that. And I went back to bed for a couple hours, and then I got up to go to class. I was all groggy, but it's fine. And then I had 2 exams later that day. I wanted to go to bed fairly early, but I actually stayed up kind of late because the last Airbender live action show came out yesterday, and it's pretty good. They did change some things, so if you're like a stickler for being accurate to the original story, then you probably won't like it. But thankfully, like overall the changes aren't too bad. There is less humor in it though, but I am excited to see what is to come. I've only seen the first 3 episodes. I'm excited to see what else they changed. I keep hitting the fucking microphone. I'm sorry. That's what happens when you're left-handed. You have your microphone to your left. Bug. Not entirely sure. I guess I could do it like this. Buggy. Bug, bug, bug. The mandibles. Da, 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 da. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with the wings still. The only thing I've figured out is what to do with the arms. Gotta add even more bug features. Yeah, now you all know that I can be awoken very abruptly and get upset. That really was like one of the scariest things that's happened to me in quite some time. Like I awoke, it was very similar to when I was like a little kid, and I awoke after a very, very scary nightmare. Like it was very similar to that experience. Like I was all freaking out, I was breathing heavy. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? I did not feel safe. So I ran to find safety. Because I do experience mild paranoia. And that's one of those moments that triggered it. And it was not very pleasant. But you know what? Shit happens. I knew how to deal with it. I know how to make myself feel better. And I'm doing great now. It's just a one-off thing. Might need to change the way my microphone hovers over me. Cause like the way I have it is that like the arm comes down and the microphone sticks up. But I might have to actually like make it upside down. I know a lot of people do that. But like my previous microphone was upside down and I didn't like that very much. So I changed it because I didn't like it at all. And I might change it back. Because of my issues with drawing. What am I gonna do with this? You know, gaming. Yeah, I've been keeping up with a lot of the recent VTuber news. I've been watching a lot more VTuber content lately. It's nice. Well, some of the news isn't nice, but like... I don't really want to go into details about that. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. That's true. That is very true. A lot of VTubers are very, like, adult-oriented with their content. I don't really want to be. I would prefer my audience to be at the minimum 16 plus because like sometimes we go over mature topics, but like my content isn't inherently sexual like a lot of other VTubers. But I will say there isn't anything inherently wrong with catering towards sexual content. I don't have a problem with it personally, it's just not something that I wish to divulge myself. Besides, they all seem to have a lot of fun with it, so if they're having fun, then I think that's totally cool. I just like to play game, make spooky drawing, and eat hot chip. I just like to be silly. Just a silly little bug. Dog song! I love Dog Song, it's so silly and cute. Let's see. This is the silly. Silly! I just need to adjust the way I'm sitting. I keep hitting the microphone. And like, I hate it when that happens. There we go. That should be better. Enjoy your lurking! And thank you. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of other VTubers lately. It's nice. I enjoy a lot of other VTubers content, especially VShoujo VTubers. I like VShoujo a lot. And I know that what George just said about a lot of VTubers being very like sexual. That is very true. And I understand that that isn't everyone's cup of tea. It wasn't really my cup of tea for quite some time. But that's part of the reason why I don't really do anything like that myself. It's just to like give a space for people who enjoy VTubers but don't enjoy sexually charged content. I'm just silly. I like to be silly. And I like to make funny content. And some people might see the way my VTuber is dressed and assume that it's like sexual. Hi! But I just like the bodysuit look. I'm doing great. I'm talking about VTuber stuff. Because I've gotten more into watching VTubers in my own time. And I like watching them. And I understand some people's issues with how like a lot of VTubers are a bit horny. It's not really the type of content that I would make myself. So it's just nice to provide a space where it's like the content isn't like super sexual. There might be mentions of things like that, especially if like I played dating sims or something like that, like Dial Town, for example. But that's very much a like comedy, like satire type of dating sim. And same thing with other ones like the Monster Prom series, which I recently got into in my off time. I know the first game came out in 2017. Big booba VTuber models. I think they're funny. I used to dislike them as well, but I think they're kind of funny now. But I don't know. I just think they're kind of silly. Like they're comedically big and move like Jello. Like why do they move like Jello? That's so silly. But yeah, I totally understand that that's not the thing for everyone. But that's why I'm here. There's a niche for everything. I need to just redo the fingers altogether. Spindly fingies. Spindly bug fingers. Let's see. Yeah, I will say some big booba VTuber models are a little over the top, but not all of them. Like I've seen some pretty wild ones. And the whole meme of like, you guys aren't just following me for my big boobs, are you? Like, no, of course not. But like, there's just a balance. There's a balance. You can have big booba VTuber without it being like, that's all you can see. Sometimes you just gotta find a nice balance. I think my current favorite big booba VTuber model is Matara. I really love her VTuber model. Her, like, not the current one, I haven't really seen that one yet, but the the one that she had been using up until recently. I really like that one, but also I just love bug themes. I love bug themes so much. And I think she was like the final push to get me to finally explore more into the bug territory with my VTuber. Nah, that's good that way. I think you can have fun with big booba VTuber models, but yeah, there's like a balance, and it's definitely fun for like satire as well. I've seen some VTubers, especially VTuber artists, who like have live 2D models that have some boob physics. But like, there's like some sort of like chat thing where the physics can be turned up to like 1,000,000 and they just fly all over the screen, and it's so funny. It's so funny. Like, if you're gonna have big booba, have fun with it. Have fun with the big booba. A little running joke kind of thing. Too many finger joints. But yeah, I understand how it could be unappealing. I totally get it. Big spindly bug fingers. Actually, hold on, that might be too much. You know what, we'll just leave that hand as is for now. I have to figure out how to do this hand first. Ooh! Okay, that's nice. I've been drawing a lot of hands lately, so I've gotten way better at drawing hands. Like, there's a piece that I just recently started. It's almost finished, but it has 16 hands on it. 16! So many hands! Excuse me. It's just, I've been doing a lot of work. There's a lot of hands. Ooh, D&D. Nice. Let's see. I actually talked a little bit about Matara-con last time as well, because I do like her bug theme. Ah, nice! Well, I hope you get to enjoy the time you spend with your sister. I haven't seen my sister in a while. I think the last time I saw her in person, it's been almost 2 years. And that's just because I'm still attending university, but she's doing her own thing. Her birthday's coming up in April. She'll be turning 29. I'm very excited for her and her birthday. I wonder what she's gonna do. Okay, these hands just aren't lining up properly. I might actually change that a little bit as well. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so too. Who knows? I might plan something shortly after graduation and go visit her. She lives like halfway across the country though, so I'd probably have to fly or something. Normally, what my family does is that we prefer to drive, even if it's like 1,000 miles away. We prefer to drive. But I think they're finally far enough away that I don't have much of a choice, because we are a road trip family, but like the last road trip I went on, she lived like half the distance away, and that was at like a 10-hour drive, and that was a lot. And I don't think I could handle double that. So I'd probably fly to see her next time we make plans. I think it would be nice. We have talked about it, of course. We always talk about like plans and seeing each other again. Like what to do, what to prepare for. I don't know. It's just one of those adult things where it's like, oh, you want to hang out with your sibling? You gotta plan like 2 years in advance. For her. But yeah, it's just one of those things that like sometimes you just gotta be a little patient. But yeah, you reminded me of my sister. Because it has been a little while since the last time I saw her. I wasn't able to visit last summer because I was working on my own things then, and this summer I can't visit either because I will once again be working on my own things. But I might see her around graduation time. Maybe. I should be graduating at the end of this year. In December! And that'll be nice. And I'll get to see my nibblings as well. And that'll be exciting. Get to see the whole family. And my brother-in-law. It'll be so nice. So much has happened with the both of us since the last time I visited. It'd be nice to just see all that progress in person. It'd be nice. Da, 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 da. Alright, let's see. How do I do this? I think I think one day I'll have a live 2D model again. And if I do, when I do, I hope to have like a bug alt. It'll be just a completely different model, but like bug, you know, buggy. A live 2D, you know the standard VTuber models you see with the motion tracking and all that stuff? The 2D ones, those are called live 2D models because they are made in a program called Live 2D Cubism. And I don't know about the 3D ones, that just depends on who you ask. But yeah, maybe one day I'll have a live 2D model again, because my very first model was a live 2D model, and I only used it for 3 streams. Because I hated it so much. It was so bad and so stiff. And ugh. But that model is no more. How am I gonna do the kneecaps? Like that maybe? I need to make some of the exposed joints anyway. That's what I was doing earlier with the elbows, but I didn't do it properly. I don't know, I'm just kind of doing this for fun mostly. The bug. Might need to like bring out some of the joints a little bit. I like beetles. I think they're nice. Some of them are really big and scary. Let's see. I like moths a little bit. Only the tiny ones. The big ones kind of scare me a bit. But they are pretty to look at and like taxidermy and stuff. The big atlas moths, those things are huge. They're like the size of your face. That's a little too much for me. But I also love millipedes and roly-polies. They're so cute. They're very peaceful. I think the only bugs that I genuinely, like, vehemently hate even now are centipedes. But that's because of a very awful experience I had with one. And I live in a place that gets giant desert centipedes. What have I done to myself? What have I done? Oh, jeez. But I have a horror story with a centipede. I think I was like early in high school. I was either 13 or I was like 14 or 15. So I was either in late middle school or early high school. But I remember getting home, just standard regular day, put my stuff down, just be like, oh, can't wait to get on my computer and watch the YouTubes. And I, my old desk setup was like a modified dresser. It's not like it just had the middle drawers cut out, so I had somewhere to put my feet. And, my keyboard was off to the side in front of my teeny tiny little desktop computer. I had an Alienware computer, and it was this little thing that you could carry in one hand. It's this bitty little desktop computer. And so I always had my little dinky keyboard sitting in front of it. And I picked up my keyboard to go and sit down with it, and there was a fucking centipede underneath it. There was a centipede right underneath my keyboard, and it took me like a whole second to register what the hell was there, because I had papers with drawings on them underneath my keyboard. And the moment I was like, oh, that's a fucking centipede, I was like, Dad! Can you come kill this thing for me? It was terrifying. And that was back whenever I still had some mild arachnophobia. So like, that whole experience changed me. I only have a little bit of arachnophobia still. But like, I can appreciate spiders now a little better. But I still get the wiggies sometimes. Sometimes. Yeah, my arachnophobia turned into centipede phobia. Ooh. Needles. Yeah, I used to have a pretty bad fear of needles myself, but there was a few years of my life where I had to regularly get like blood tests and stuff like that, so it kind of went away and I was just uncomfortable. But then again, the worst place to get stuck is the inner elbow. It's the worst place ever. That place is so... Excuse me. Like, I can handle shots perfectly fine. Excuse me. I can handle vaccines and stuff perfectly fine. I prefer to get my blood taken from, like, the top of my hand. But it's a bit difficult. And, like, yeah, technically the inside of the elbow is the best place, but... no, thank you. No, I don't want it. No. It's so bad. It's awful. let's see. How am I gonna do? How am I gonna design the feet? That's not even something I've considered. How are the feet going to change? I'm assuming that you mean that you have so good veins. And like, that sounds nice. My veins tend to cause problems, and I get that from my dad. His veins have always caused problems as well. They tend to roll, and that's never pleasant for anybody. Let's see. Might make the foot more pointed. Let's see what I can do with this. Bug toes. Tootsies. Tootsies. There we go. That's something. Oh, also has really bad veins. Damn. I think my biggest problem isn't even my veins. Like, yeah, my veins are a bit of a struggle, but I'm tiny. I'm a fairly small individual. And so I have a little less of blood volume than the standard person, which means that anytime they have to take like more than 3 tubes, I always end up super lightheaded and shaky. Oh, damn. Yeah, it's always good to stay really hydrated before getting your blood taken. And always take a snack for after. Because you need to fast before, but you need to make sure that you get something in your tummy. Well, it depends on what you're getting tested for, and I've had to be tested for all sorts of things in the past. Because I deal with an undiagnosed chronic illness. It's a hypermobility disorder of some type. I have a sneaking suspicion I know what it is, but I'd rather not be like, I think I know what it is, because people get mad when I do that. And I've had testing done in the past. I'm 5'5". I'm not short, I'm just small. I'm a very scrawny nerd. So I'm not like super tiny in every sense of the word. I'm taller than a lot of the people I know here. Because like the average height of people here is a lot shorter than like 5'4", 5'3". Yeah, I'm not short, I'm just small. I'm skinny. And I'm like, I've been underweight for pretty much all my life. It's just something I deal with. So like, I'm small, but I'm not short. I'm like slightly above average height for someone with my features. But that also means that where I live, I'm like pretty freaking tall. Yeah, I know like one tall person here. I have one tall friend, And when I say tall, I mean like tall. He's like 6'4". Like, and like, I don't even know if he's actually told me he's 6'4", but I know he's 6'4" because my brother-in-law is the same height, and I have to tilt my head back at like the same angle to look up at him. So I have a very good understanding of that specific height. So if you're 6'4", I will know that you are 6'4", just by how I have to look at you. Bug. Bug. Tallest friend was a basketball player back in... He was 6'8"? I don't think I've ever met anybody over the height of 6'4". I can't imagine how tall... I cannot imagine how tall someone like that is in person. That's kind of scary. You're so tall, if I look at you, I'll break my neck. You're too tall. Too tall. Too tall. Your friend was too tall. Oh, I'm sure. Ugh. That makes me think of like, you know, when you're like a little kid and so everyone's taller than you, and anytime they have like a long conversation, like if they're like lecturing you and you have to look up, and it's like after a while, oh jeez. Yeah, that's one way to make somebody over 6 feet tall feel small. Put someone who's even taller, closer to 7 feet tall, next to them, and they're like, oh, I know what the short people experience on the regular basis. But it's so funny. But it's so funny being 5'5" and living somewhere where most people are shorter than me now. Because where I used to live, people would always call me short, tiny, little, bitty, tiny. I was like, stop it! I'm not small. You're just tall. And now I'm right about it. Because now I'm tall. Alright, let's see what I can do with this. I'd like to make this a little easier for myself. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to layer these things. You know, I don't think I've ever met anybody that was like over a foot taller than me, or like even close to a foot taller than me. The closest would be my friend who is 6'4". I've never met anybody that was like actually like a foot or more taller than me. I don't know how I would feel about that. I'd probably be a little concerned. Like, why are you so tall? Every once in a while I think about this one image of like some tall dude handing out business cards. Because like he's so tall that he probably just got questions all the time like, how tall are you? What's the weather like up there? And it would like answer all those frequently asked questions. It's so funny. But I'm at that really awkward height where a lot of people don't perceive me as tall, but the moment I wear heels that are like an inch or two, not even like big heels, just regular small heels, then it's like I'm a freaking giant. Those heels make a big difference. It's so funny. And then you've got other people who like, they wear heels and they're like maybe my height. And I can't process it. It's like, wow, you can wear heels and not be towering over everybody? That's crazy. I don't know. And it's so funny seeing like user posts where it like has your height. It has your height and it's like this user is this height and like most of those posts don't have 5'5". It's so weird. 5'5" is a very weird height. And like it's not acknowledged very often either. It's so weird. Like they'll sometimes say like this user is under 5'4", and then the following slide will be like this user is 5'6". Like, huh? What about my height? What about me? The forgotten height. I don't even know why. It's so strange. Cause like I guess it's cause like a lot of people are either 5'4" or 5'6". I am very much left out. It's like, where's my height? Or like the posts will say like, oh, this user is under 5'5", or this user is over 5'5". What the fuck? What if I am 5'5"? There's no option for me. And I am 5'5". I briefly thought that I may have been possibly 5'6", because my posture has improved within the past year, and I thought maybe that would bring some sort of like significant change. But no, I'm still 5'5". I measured with a fancy tape measure. Oh, but let me tell you, I just remembered this one time I went to a doctor's appointment and their little height measure thing was apparently completely miscalibrated. Because a lady measured me and she was like, "You're 5'2". And I was like, huh? No, I am not 5'2". And even before I said anything, she was like, hold on. You don't look 5'2". Something might be wrong. And it's like, uh-huh. Yeah, something's wrong. I am not 5'2". However, if I was 5'2", I'd blend in a lot better. My height would be on those user posts. OMG. No, it's funny. I think it's funny. Going from a place where everyone was like, haha, you're short, to going a place where it's like, oh, you're kind of tall. Seriously, like, I'm one of the tallest people in my class. In most of my classes, I'm one of the tallest people. Like, in all of the drawing classes I've been in, I was one of the taller people. But back in high school, I was one of the shorter people. And it's like, huh? But this is just one of those things where I learned that Latinos are short. Since I live on the border, most of the people I know are Hispanic and or Latino. And they're all shorter than me, except for my friend. He stands out like a sore thumb. He's so tall. Actually, hold on. Change my mind. Cause like, be like a layer. Ear layer. So I'll just leave those as is, but add in this. I think one of my favorite things I've learned about living here on the border is multiple things. Latinos are short and they can't handle the cold. And some people might hear me say that and be like, wow, hey, don't say that. That's rude. But like, it's true. Like, it'll be like 50 degrees and I'll see like most people wearing parkas. And a lot of people are shorter than me. I've met a lot of men here who are much shorter than me. And like, anytime I talk about it with said friends, they're like, yeah, that's true. That's totally true. I remember talking about it one time and I was like, why is it with the people who live here and not being able to handle any weather that's like under 50 degrees? And he was just like, that's just how Latinos are. And he is a Latino. And I was like, oh, haha. Like, I suppose we do live in a desert and it's usually just hot. It's my Scandinavian and Slavic genes. I just handle the cold better. I don't know, I like the cold though. But also I'm not from here, and I've lived in colder places. So I'm just more accustomed to the cold. I'm superior from experience. Yeah, it's so funny like seeing people, typically like white knights on the internet, when they're like, oh gee, don't say that. Don't say that. And it's like, and then you got the group who's supposedly supposed to be offended. They're like, haha, that's so true. That's how it is. I'm like, I'm the token white friend of most of my friend groups here. And I'm fine with that. I think it's silly. Because like sometimes I'll have friends mention things that are like, they're like Mexico things, like I was reminded of how some people like paint the sides of their buildings with like advertisement and stuff. And that reminded me of where I used to live, in a little podunk town in southern Georgia. And I was like, oh my god. I used to see buildings like that all the time where I used to live. And all my friends were like, really? That's so cool! Like sharing culture and stuff, it's just fun. And so it is basically just a fact that Latinos cannot handle the cold very well. And if you say that to a Latino, they will be like, oh yeah, that's true. That's totally true. The cold is not our strong suit. I remember the first time, like back whenever I was like early in my university career, and it was like maybe like 45 degrees outside, and I was just wearing my jacket, just a regular old jacket or what I usually wear, and I saw several people wearing like giant, thick, fur-lined parkas, and it's like, are you okay? You a bit chilly there? I was like, what is it? Did I read the weather report right? It is like only 45 degrees, right? I remember checking my phone. I was like, yeah, it's only 45 degrees. Why are people wearing the freaking parkas? Cold immunity, but also the crisp cold air feels nice. You feel it on your face. And you're just like, ah, so refreshing, so good, so nice. Let's see. Shoulders. I kind of want to make the back a bit detailed, like maybe add like spine segments. But I don't know about that. Let's just try it out for a moment. I'm a cold lover most of the times. My room is not heated during the winter. Oh! I don't know about that. I don't know if I would go that far. But it's nice stepping outside in the cold. Well, let me tell you, my favorite weather? Snow. I love snow so much. It's my favorite. I just, every time I see it, I experience, like, the most joy in my life ever. The snow is so great! And it snows sometimes here. This year it's only done a little bit of, like, sleet and frost, but, we've had snow before, and anytime it snows, I get so excited. It's very rare here. But I remember one time it snowed in October, and that was wild. I'm not sure what to do with the back, actually. So it's so cool when it snows. But also, the place I used to live before moving here, it hadn't snowed ever. It just didn't snow because it was too warm and it was too humid, and just the weather just never lined up. Except for once! Except for once. There was one time where it did actually snow, and it was the most amazing moment of my life. I don't think I need that, honestly. I might need it for the fingers, but I'll turn it off for now. It snowed for the first time in 27 years whenever it snowed. I was in high school. I was like probably 16. I think winter break had just started. And like, I remember getting up and like walking by the living room and looking at the door at the little peephole and just seeing little flakes. And I had to do a double take. I was like, huh? Wait! Is that snow? And I lost my shit. I opened the door. It was snowing. It was all white outside. It had never been like that. And so I ran and I got my parents up. Yeah, it sucks. I remember. Whenever I was a kid, between like the ages of like 4 and 8, I lived in Oklahoma. And, well actually I was 3 when we moved there. So 3 and 8, but in like those super formative years, we lived in Oklahoma. And it would snow at least once every year. And that was so fun every single time. It was so exciting. So very exciting. I remember when it would snow, I'd get my sister and be like, "It's snowing! It's snowing!" And so and then we'd get up, we'd get our parents up, and we'd be like, "It's snowing! It's snowing!" And I remember for at least a few years, what we would do was we would yeah, it's so nice. We had like this, we had our vacuum box. We had the box that had our vacuum. And what we would do was we would go down to my elementary school, because there was like a big slope in front of it. And it was just down the road. It was just a little walk there. And we'd take the vacuum box. And it was all flat. And we would sled on it. It was great. I don't even remember which vacuum it was, but it was a purple one, and I think it may have been like a Dyson or a Shark brand. But it was one of those giant old vacuums. Back when vacuums were like 70 pounds. So big and heavy and loud. So very, very loud. But yeah, I remember doing that. It was so fun. I think the last time I sledded was when I was like 9. But that was in the very brief period of time where I was in Connecticut. Didn't really live there, but I visited a family member there. And then I got sick. I got really, really sick. I had to go to the hospital. I didn't get sick from the sledding. My sister and I both got sick. We were very, very sick on Christmas that year. It sucked, but it wasn't like dream crushing sucky. It was for sledding, I know that we did the Dyson vacuum box then, but I think the last time I sledded, the last time I went sledding was like with an actual like little plastic sled thing, but it was once again on a hill. I think I crashed that one time though. I think I face planted in the snow. I haven't gone sledding in so long though. But I'm also not tiny anymore. And well, I'm kind of small, but I'm not child small. And I don't think there's any hills around here. It might be too fragile to sled now to take that risk. Oh, you don't know what sledding is. That's what your question is. What is sledding? It's just like sledding. Let me just look up the definition of sledding. Damn, no hills? Yeah, sledding, sledging, or sleighing is a winter sport typically carried out in a prone or seated position on a vehicle generically known as a sled, North American, or a sledge, British, or a sleigh. I'm sure you've seen like images of like sleds or sleighs being drawn along by dogs, or like Santa's sleigh. It's that kind of thing. It's just like some type of little like sliding thing that you just like ride on the snow. Yeah, it was just like sliding pretty much. But when you're on something. Like if you go down a slide, it's kind of like that, but with snow, and you can get hurt. It was pretty fun. It's been a very long time since I had last gone sledding, but yeah, if you ever get the opportunity to do it, I think you should try it. Like you might see, I haven't seen a video of it in a very long time, but you might come across like a video of like a child, excuse me, going down like a hill or a slope. And then like crash violently in the snow, and then it'll be all like like sometimes those videos will pop up on the internet, and it's nice. It's silly. Very nostalgic. Man, I haven't thought about sledding in years. Might change this one a little bit actually. Honestly, yeah. I'm kind of excited for it to be springy. The weather's a little unpredictable here, but that's just how deserts are. I'm really excited for spring break. That's in a couple weeks. I think I'll be streaming that whole week. It'll be nice to be returned to that old formula. Who knows? Maybe I can remember more sledding stories. The hands are completely different. Wow, I didn't realize I changed the hands so much. Wow. Oh, jeez, how am I gonna do this? Let's just do the outline and then we'll go from there. Something like that, maybe? I shouldn't have erased those hands. Oopsie. Hold on. Not completely, anyway. Just partially, like that. There we go, that's something. Ouch. Right then. Hands. Yeah, that's correct. Hands! They're a nightmare! Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. It's a little annoying when they don't. There's no way to improve them if you don't do anything. There we go. Hands! Bug hands. Yeah, it just suddenly got a lot warmer here too. It's been like consistently warm. Like we've been getting up in the 70s these past few days. Like I think we finally broke through. Yeah, Groundhog Day. There's Groundhog Day, which I think is so silly. It's very much one of those little, like, superstitious type things. I've never really been one to understand the point of superstitions, but superstitions just arise from, like, an attempt to explain things. So I respect them, kind of, a little. I don't know. I think they're silly to a certain extent. Some of them I find to be a bit silly, especially like some of the really old ones that have no reason to still be used. But what? Interesting. That sounds like a Dutch thing. Yeah, here in the US and I believe in the UK as well, there's Groundhog Day. I think it's very silly. We just like... Yeah, look that up. Hungary. Hungarian. The day before Ash Wednesday. And it lasts 6 days. I see! The scary, weird scary man. Not even gonna attempt to pronounce any of this because I am not Hungarian and I do not understand that language very well at all. So with the accents, it makes my brain is like, ah, Spanish, but no. I don't think it's pronounced similarly to Spanish pronunciations. I sincerely doubt that. In the older, less popular story, the Busos are scaring away not the Turks, but winter itself. Interesting. I'll read up a little bit on that later. I want to work on this drawing. I like learning about other culture stuff. I think it's fun. It looks fun. Bug hands, bug hands. Buggy, buggy, bugs. What am I gonna do with this one? Might change this a little bit as well. Like a flat panel. Groundhog Day is how if the dog sees its shadow, it's going to be a long winter or something like that, right? Yes. If it gets scared by its own shadow, then we have like 6 more weeks of winter. Which I think it's silly. I think that was referenced in Bambi, that movie. I think it's referenced in that movie. I can't remember. I remember it being mentioned in some older Disney movie that I grew up with. The Gog. Groundhog. I know that was a typo, but still. The Gog! The Gog. Yeah, it's like a little rodent kind of guy. If he comes up from his hole, his burrow, and he sees his shadow, then like we get 6 more weeks of winter. And if he doesn't, then it's springtime. I've never really understood that, but I remember as a kid, if he saw his shadow, I was like, no! Gog the Ancient One. Gog the Ancient One. Master of Seasons. You know what? You just gave me a wonderful idea for one of my stories. I'm writing that down. That's going in the brain book. I have multiple stories. I have all sorts of little projects always in the works. That I'm not wording very well. Hold on. I have like my current project that has been on hold for the past month is a game, which is Last Light. But I've got all sorts of other stories in the works as well. Some of which I don't have the ability to do yet, but I have plans on being able to do them. And that one, that was just like a fun little world building idea that you gave me for one of my bigger stories. I think it would be nice. I like world building. I think it's fun. I just had a little book based on my dreams. That's cool. All sorts of crazy things can happen in dreams. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that like that. But I'm gonna put this line here. The bug feeds. It's like, whoa, 110 pages long-ish? 110-ish? That's quite a lot. Quite a bit of writing. Ugh, I have a big essay that I have to do over the semester. It's gonna be like 8 pages. And now that feels like nothing compared to the 110 pages. But then again, 8 pages of cited stuff is a lot harder than 110 pages of creative writing. Oh, sweet. Nice. That sounds nice. Bug. More bug. Ooh. I don't even know what I'm gonna do about the wings. Let's put these here just as like a little placeholder. I don't know what to do about this one now. Probably. Something like this. Who needs face when you got bug? Ah, gee, thanks. Well, I really wish I could share some of my, classwork. Well, thank you very much. I wish I could share some of my classwork because that really shows a lot more of my, technical skills. But, a lot of that work features things like nudity, and I can't really share that anywhere, and I don't feel comfortable sharing that, publicly all that much. Since, I know some of the people who enjoy my content are minors. Like, I know I could put, like, content warnings or something like that, but, that's just not a risk I'm willing to take. But yeah, some of those are like, wow. And I've shared a couple of my pieces before, like on my Instagram story. But it's just, that's only a little bit of stuff. This song's so good. Gotta give it room for the mandibles. However, those are gonna end up being drawn. Yeah, sure, that works. I think the only unfortunate thing about keeping my contemporary work and my commercial work so separate is just the fact that it's hard to really share all of the work and all of the real like skill building stuff I've done. And it's something I've been thinking about a lot more recently, especially since I'm getting close to finishing my degree. But I hope that maybe eventually I could start combining more of those fine art things with my commercial art things. I think it'd be nice to be able to share that kind of stuff. I've always liked the idea of like combining those two worlds, not in like a commercializing fine art kind of way, but in a just like making the stuff just more, just like teaching more people about that kind of stuff. Enjoy your mimir. Good night and thank you. I don't know. I've always been big into like challenging mindsets and things like that. I just like getting people to use their brains. Really like think about things and stuff. You know what? This might be a multi-stream drawing. I think what I'll do is mostly just color this next time. You remove that accursed belly button. Might actually flatten this out a bit. Make it more smooth. Like a bug. I only said I'd probably finish this next week is because I'm getting sleepy. I've been a little exhausted these past couple of days. And I mentioned that earlier. Because of my terrifying experience with the Mexican Amber Alert. Like, if anybody watching this lives in Mexico or has lived in Mexico previously and it has experienced those alerts, I'm not crazy, am I? Like, it's pretty freaking scary. That was loud and sucked, and I did not like it at all. Has that ever, like, awoken you in a panic before? That shit is terrifying. It was so loud. Well, I mean, they certainly took emergency very seriously when designing that alarm. That scared the shit out of me. But yeah, now all my national alerts are turned off. And I keep those turned off because now I have a reason. Now I have a perfectly explainable reason as to why. If anybody's like, why is your national alerts turned off? What if you need to, what if, blah blah blah. Well, now you understand why. Besides, I deal with mild paranoia, and I don't like having that triggered on a random instance. I think the worst part about paranoia is how stupid you can feel after experiencing an episode. And it's a bit embarrassing when that happens, because it's like, obviously I wasn't gonna die, but like the fear was real, you know? So if you also deal with paranoia like that, I get you. I got you. I get you. The feeling's real. The actual danger may not have been real, but the fear was. I feel like that's what a lot of people don't understand if they don't experience paranoia. Is that like, we know we're not actually in danger. We know that in hindsight. We understand that, but like, we were still scared, you know? It's like when people make fun of you for like being scared of heights or like being scared on like a ride at like an amusement park or something. Like, you were scared. The fear was real. Even if you know you're perfectly safe, like you can still be scared. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know what to do with the wings. Yeah, I'm gonna clear out this layer and do something. I want to try to incorporate the way the wings look in regular SAMIEL diesel things, but I don't really know how to, while also making it look like a bug wing. Because bug wings and bird wings, which is where most wing inspiration comes from, is from birds, they're just totally different. Like there's a big difference. If you've ever looked at diagrams of wings, bug wings are usually like big old like things with like whatevers, and then bird wings are like this shit, you know? There's a difference. There's a huge difference in appearance. And yeah, some of them look like this, like they've got multiple joints and stuff, but like there's also bat wings, which follow a very similar formula to bird wings, which bird wings are technically like this, but then they've got feathers on them. They follow that same shape. They follow that same shape. But then there's bug wings, and like there's a lot that look like they like have joints in them and stuff, and they like fold out like a tarp. Like not really like that. Hold on, let me look at some bug wings. Cause there are some bugs that wings, they're just always out. Like there's butterflies, and there's a lot of moths. There's dragonflies. Bug wings. images. Yeah, they all got like these like nodes on them. There's so many bugs that their wings are just always out. And they're always exposed, and they're extremely fragile. And they have this very rounded look to them. It's like a bean. Like not quite like this. I was actually very incorrect about the little joints. Those are more of just like folds that might show up. Yeah, bug wings are more like this. And then there's the standard SAMIEL wing, which is like this. What do I do with this? Excuse me, what do I do with this? I might just put the wing references on the side view. Because like if I do this, then like what am I also gonna do about the tail? Because like the tail is a thing that I still also need to work on. Ah, fuck! I just remembered I was gonna add arms here. Oopsie. I forgot about that. Might make little buggy arms with like two fingers. Alright. It's time to incorporate the little arms. I think I'll just make them little itty bitty arms. Like almost vestigial, but not quite, you know? Little bug hands. Actually, it kind of like the main monster's little buggy hands from Last Light. Hold on. I technically made that last year, so where it's definitely not here. Let me see. In this folder. There it is, the poster. See the little fingies? Here, I'll make them even clearer if I remove these. Eee! Little hands. Now you can see what all I drew. I didn't actually do the entire thing. I just wanted to do a little bit of it. Just the important parts, as I didn't want to waste my time with working on things that wouldn't even be visible. But yeah, like those little fingies, just little 2-finger hands. I don't know. I might make full-on, like, proper hands at some point, but for now, this is what we got. Little bug arms. Little buggy arms. I don't know. I might do more with bug at a later point. Da, 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 da. Perfect. Oh, bug arms. What use do they serve? Nobody knows. They're just bug arms. Yeah, I mentioned at the beginning of stream I kind of wanted to add extra arms, but I totally forgot while I was redoing all this. Oh, I don't know if anybody here is a fan of Ina, the avant-garde series of animations, but there was a game update and the release will be... There is no release date still, but the game will be separated into chapters so that it can be released in parts. It'll be like for each artistic vision. Each one of those will be released. Bug! Bug arms. Da, 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 da. Oh, bug arms. Bug. Bug stuff. Bug, 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 bug. I thought I made my canvas gray today. Actually remembered to change it. No way did I manage to pick the same exact gray. I just noticed that. That's wild. I don't know, that's crazy. Da 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 da. I don't know, we might change those arms later. But right now this is what we got. Oh, bug arms. Yeah, normally they're like all like they've got like the little whatevers. What do we do with this? Make a little bug tail kind of thing. What do I do? What do I do with this? So strange. So many questions. So little whatevers. I don't know. So many questions, so little time. Make a little bug whatevers. No. It's not really the style. Did I make the tail weird like this? I don't know. It would be very recognizable as like that's the SAMI tail, but like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know how to incorporate the wings in the tail. Because we got the horns because we didn't need to change that at all. Bugs. So many questions. No. No. I did something like this last time with that, but I don't know. I think maybe we'll leave that like that. Hmm. Hmm. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do. So many questions. I might just keep the tail as is. But having a little segmented tail is kind of an interesting thought. I like this though. This little sketch that I did. So instead of undoing it, I'm gonna erase it so I can undo to it. To it! Why make it segmented? Because this is cute, but like... the little jagged look kind of helps accentuate that like bug look a bit. I think what we'll do is like the full out will be more like SAMIEL wings, you know? So like when it's closed it's like this with the shell, then when it's open it's like whoa, surprise. Wings. So like the wings would be in there, you know? Wings! Crazy, crazy stuff. I don't know, but this is all like sketch, like idea stuff. Hehehe, Brittany. Oh, jeez. I'll probably do more stuff over here with exploring what to do. Yeah, I like this little idea I've come up with. Cause who said the wings have to stay tiny like in the usual? Alright. Let me save this real quick. Now here I am making ref sheets up the wazoo. I was complaining about how like I've had bad experiences with making ref sheets in the past, but here look at me now. Now I'm making nothing but ref sheets. It's great. That would shame. Alright. We are not done with this, obviously. We're going to be continuing this next week. Next Friday. That'll be exciting. That would be nice. But, bug. There we go. Look at that. Bug stuff. Yeah, that's nice. I like how it looks so far. Yeah, that looks nice. I bet it'll look nicer once we can apply color to it. That'll be really nice. I might do something about this over here though. Excuse me. Yeah, alright. We're done for today. It's been nice chatting about things. About the weather. About living on the border. About my terrible experience yesterday morning. About chatting about VTubers. I like VTubers. I like other VTubers a lot. And since I've been getting more into other VTuber content, I've learned more about like what content I enjoy. How silly they can all be. So fun. But anyway, thank you so much for visiting. I hope you have a great day, and as always, farewell.